Okay, I think this is going to be a short video, but I don't know. We never know. We're going with the flow. So these videos, as you know, I'm just rhyming everything accidentally, improvised. Improvisation is such an amazing thing, and we can all do it. We all do it in conversation. We're not like waiting to think about the perfect word every single time we say something. We allow ourselves, we have confidence in ourselves to just say whatever comes to the forefront of our mind. Isn't that an amazing thing? Improvisation is something that I actually engage in quite a lot through the music process and making these videos. But we all do it. If you're going to do a drawing, you're not so calculated about what you're doing. You're just kind of going with the flow. We need to go with the flow and just walk outside, look around, and maybe just not always have a plan. Doesn't always have to have a plan. Sometimes the most beautiful things that have happened in my life have not been planned. And it's just been, I'm going to go out, I'm going to put myself in a situation, or I'm going to create a wonderful space for myself. And that's where art is born. You know, create a wonderful space and art will just happen. I read the book, The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. I've been reading a lot this year. I've been reading a lot over the past 2 years. Something that I actually didn't really do much. But reading, oh my God, it's such an amazing thing to do before bed. And I found myself like doing it, waking up early and reading in the morning. I'm not actually doing that at the moment, but I was doing it and I felt so kind of like I was really doing the right thing, expanding my vocabulary, learning, and you know, practicing delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is so important. We're expecting everything right away. We should not be having everything right away. We should wait for things. You know, sometimes we do have to go through some difficult periods in our lives to experience and really appreciate the good things in life. And I don't really know what the basis or the kind of the goal of this video is, but I'm just creating a separation from the creative process right now. I was making a song. I've got so many songs that I'm working on. This one's called Just Like 85. And I'm really liking it, and I was doing lots of different vocal takes that I'm going to be layering on top of each other. The harmonies are already done, they're already set, but I just wanted to kind of double up the lead vocal. If you know about production and that sort of thing, you understand what I'm doing. But yeah, it's all about like EQing them correctly, and I'm not going to bore you with it. I'm not, because I'm bored of it. Hence why I'm leaving to go and get some food and to see people in the street and hopefully share some smiles and hopefully see some sort of interaction that I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I can go and talk to someone, or I don't know, just have that acknowledgement with somebody in the street that, you know, we're all in this experience together. And that is incredible. And yeah, I feel like I'm just going to be riding this wave of positivity for as long as I possibly can. Hopefully forever. But I know that's not realistic. We can't be happy forever. We're going to have periods of lowness. We're going to be maybe even in a period of depression due to some serious things happening in our lives. But we always have the power to reframe things, okay? Even really, really bad things, you can reframe them because you will be able to learn from them. I know at first, if it's somebody in the family dying, of course, you're going to be like, how on earth can I reframe that? We're not going to reframe it right away. We're going to be mourning, of course. However, we can remember what the teachings that this person imparted upon us. And we can think about how that's going to potentially make us do the things that we need to do because what they would have wanted us to do. That, I know this is an extreme situation. But sometimes we need to think about the extremes. We need to think about the absolute worst thing that could possibly happen. Because I've had to think about that with drinking. I know, no matter what, I am not going to drink again. No matter what. I have to believe that. I have to know that. I have to think like that. So I have thought about these scenarios where, okay, let's say my whole family were to pass away at once. An awful situation that I would, you know, and even thinking about it makes me feel sick. However, I need to imagine a situation like that and how I would deal with it without turning to the bottle. Because if I did that, that would be such a step backwards. That's not what they would have wanted me to do. And I need to remember that I am in control and I'm not going to escape. And that situation, you know, I pray never ever happens. But for me, for some reason, that brings me solace. That makes me feel as though, no matter what, I'm going to continue on this journey, and I am going to do what is right for me and is right for my family and what they would want me to do. So that is something that I thought about. I don't know how I got there, but I'm feeling quite energetic. I'm hungry, actually. So when I'm hungry, I can get kind of manic. So yeah, I'm going to go out, get some food. I think I'm probably going to get a wrap of some kind. But yeah, I've been finding these situations on the street where, you know, I find myself engaged in a conversation with someone. I'm really looking for it. I'm open to it. I'm just wanting to connect with people. And, you know, I've got many friends, and, you know, connecting with friends that people that you know, of course, that's an amazingly fulfilling thing. But with people that you don't know, it's a very, very different kind of connection. You're learning so much instantly because you have no idea. You have no kind of like prior foundation of this person's personality. So you go into it with such an open mind and an open heart. But I never read a book by their cover. I never read a book by its cover. And no one should read a book by its cover. This has led me on to something that I've realised about me. So, you know, I go to the gym. I often wear a vest in the gym. I work on my physique quite a lot, to the point where I have muscles, okay? Shock horror, I have muscles, and I walk around with high energy, and I realise that I think me being me and walking around in the way that I do, thinking that I am exuding positive energy, I think sometimes it is maybe slightly off-putting, or I don't want to say the word threatening, but I do think maybe I come across as like maybe too much for people. And I spoke to my dad about this, and he was like, you know, he's very philosophical and we see eye to eye in many ways. And he just said to me, look, if there's anything that's preventing you from getting into conversations with people, you should probably consider stopping that. And what I was thinking, okay, what does that mean? So what do I have to stop wearing a vest? Do I need to stop being myself? Do I need to stop being high energy? And then I thought, you know, if people don't want to accept me for who I am, and that's a them problem. That's not a me problem. I'm not going to amend who I am if I'm truly being myself because other people don't want to accept me for who I am. So I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. I'm going to continue exuding this energy that I have and looking for interactions and holding my hand out to people when I can. And I'm always looking to pass this energy. I'm always looking to exchange energy with people. So I'm going to continue to do that. But it was interesting to hear it from the perspective of someone else. I have people in my family that I speak to about certain things. I know if I speak to my brother, he will always give me a very kind of like rigid and a very different perspective to me. I'm a lot more risk-taking. I'm a lot more kind of openly expressive and extrovert, and he's a lot more introvert. So having his perspective on things is not always actually the best thing for me, because it makes me overthink the actual product and like what I'm doing and my expression, because he thinks about it a lot more than I do. Maybe too much. So maybe I should just go with my gut. And that is something that I am going to do. Of course, feedback is always good when you're creating things, as long as you're not expecting a reaction too much. You don't think, if I don't get this reaction, it's shit. That's not true. Some people are not going to react in the way that you expect them to, and they're very rarely going to. You've worked so hard on this thing. It's almost like there is no reaction that will suffice. So just think about what you actually want to get from sending someone something that you've created. Maybe if it makes you feel good inside and you're excited about the project, you're excited about where you are going with it, and you love it, that's all that matters. I've just realised that is all that matters, because I know and I've decided that I'm no longer making music or making products with the thought of how it's going to be received. I'm doing what I think is true to me, and if it's true to me, then that's perfection. Passion is perfection. I've actually said that in one of my early songs, Be Yourself. You know, how's it go? And I can't be the one to tell you how to be yourself. The enemy is the enemy. I'm clutching straws now. I'm breaking doors down. I'm wanting more and more and more and more and more until I fall down. Babe, I'm calming down. Don't wanna be good, I wanna be great, but I don't feel that as of late. Cutting corners leaves you scarred. I was bleeding out. Passion is perfection. There is no question. Thing is, I didn't realise that the quote was at the end of the chorus. I would have just skipped to that part, but I just went with the flow. Who cares? Realistically, we're here to enjoy life. And I am going to be impulsive, within reason. I'm going to be open-minded. I'm going to be looking at, I'm going to be trying to take everything in, and I'm going to be doing what I love to do. I'm feeling so confident. I'm feeling so true to myself. And I need to remind everyone that the insecurities that you have, the worries that you have, are all superficial. Sorry, they are. Because that is the conventions that have been set for us by society in parallel to the way that you look at yourself. It doesn't actually exist. So I'm now going to go out and get the food that I need because I'm manic, as you can tell. And I'm probably over-caffeinated. I've only had 1 glass of water and about 5 coffees. And I need to get out of the house because, I'm going to stop boring you right now, but I'm feeling positive. I hope you understand that. And some of these videos are not really going to have much rhyme or reason, but I'm going to continue doing them because improvisation, why do I always struggle saying that? Improvisation is one of the keys to a happy, fulfilled life because you're allowing yourself to let go. Letting go is an amazing feeling. We need to sometimes relinquish control. Even though having control of your life is important in general, but allowing yourself to let go and having confidence in yourself, knowing yourself, that's where improvisation really kind of flourishes. So on that bombshell, peace out, bye-bye.